We are live, but we're doing the 5 minutes. If you're gonna call Karen, you gotta, and then you gotta do the shout out. You get the shout out. And I think we need 2 more chairs. I'll get the black chair. So, where's Johnson? He's gonna use there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
you can just use there. Alright, cool. Alright, that'll work.
Yeah, you know those little cap that goes on your toothbrush?
While we get ready, you can get. While we wait for people to get on, you can get Proverbs.
Yeah, I guess he is.
So, you think if we put, since we don't fold that table anyways,
We don't want it, what?
fold that table, you think if I put like a piece of wood in the middle spot,
I do this occasion, people need to use the table.
will you fold it up?
Yeah.
'Cause I could put a piece of wood in there and get that bowl out.
Occasionally we use it or somebody else uses it, ask to borrow it, and then I hold it.
So, you have time to get the shout outs or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna, I have to do it on my laptop, because if not, then, you know, it just makes it look like a live video, and you can't access who was on the video or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, we can't.
He did good on his pants. I like how his pants came out. I think he did look a little bit big, but not really too much. Saying hi to the people.
Of course it is!
Brother James, good morning. Good morning, Brother James.
That presentation, did you see?
There we go. That looks pretty cool. Mario, are you done? Okay, so you gotta watch it out there for sure. We'll just get whatever snacks you need.
I just don't want to share my
You can't fit the shoes because they're not 40 or 6.
If he wants you to watch him out there, then that's cool. But you already showed him what snacks you get, so.
I just don't want to see that in his chair. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you want him out there, then that's cool.
It's my feelings and be tired.
They're gonna come and grab
I got you.
snacks.
Right here? Hey, if you need to watch him out there, then that's cool. You're good.
See what I can do out here.
Let's drop him and then he
Actually, it's game time. It's game time. We're about to go. You guys ready? If you need that table and you want to switch with her, it's up to you. You guys ready to roll? Hopefully they stop hitting it. It seems like they start hitting it right when it's time, too.
I know.
Right when it's time. So, can you guys hear that banging sound over there? That little banging sound over there? So, cool. Let's get it. Welcome. 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 To true all my Yeshua. Holiness, restricted, discipleship, Jerusalem, about to get into the book as usual. Definitely give all honor, the creator of heaven and earth and all that is in there. And me and Sister Gluttony was having a talk about flat earth and space and air bubbles on their live feed in NASA and the sun and the moon and the constellations and what NASA lies to us and what's true. Why can't we go to Antarctica? Why can't we go to why can't planes fly over North Pole? And it's a pretty good conversation, you know. There's so many lies the wicked one teaches us. And we don't have a third-party research, so I've never been to Antarctica. I've never been to space. But I know I'm not necessarily going to believe what everything NASA tells us to push their agenda and their narrative.
Thank you, Janice.
So definitely thank the Almighty through His Son Yeshua Mashiach. Definitely thank all the ministers out there, the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers, the elders, the bishops, the deacons across the whole planet. You good? Definitely appreciate all the brothers and sisters keeping the Almighty's commandments, statute, judgment, precepts, and ways. Definitely thank the people on the Facebook and YouTube that like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hey, I love you guys. I want you guys to make it into the kingdom. Appreciate the people that jump on the Zooms every now and then. All the people, I appreciate you guys. Feel free. This is our number 619-511-1375. You reach us. That's a stateside number. That's a WhatsApp number. That's a messenger number. So feel free. That's our Zoom number. Feel free to hit us up. I do get a lot of spam calls and whatnot because the number's on the Facebook and the YouTube. So random people call me all the time. But hey, if you have questions about the Bible, if you just want to fellowship, we talk about a whole different things, wherever the conversation leads. And just to get to be around some brothers and sisters that's really about keeping His commandments and living holy, feel free to hit us up, message us, and we'll put you on the slot for the Zoom. Sometimes slot for the Zoom. So, that bowl was full. What is that bowl full of? Well, all right, got a full bowl. Well, that's that said and being done. Let's set the fingers to the walking and
The scriptures to the talking.
there we go. I see you. I see you. Go ahead and turn to Proverbs 23. Very good, Jimmy. See, you did good. Proverbs 23. I'm actually going to teach on this maybe once or twice a year. I do need to start teaching. There'll be a couple of topics I do want to teach on at least once a year. And as new people come, and I really want you guys to think of these things as we walk with the Most High. So last time we dealt with somewhat Feast of Unleavened Bread, and this is similar. Actually not Feast of Unleavened Bread, Pentecost, Feast of First Fruits, sorry about that, Feast of Weeks, and Feast of Harvest and whatnot. So, it's going to be a little bit different, but similar. So, Proverbs 23, verse 19. Proverbs 23, verse 19. Cool. Let's get it. It says, "Hear thou, my son, and be wise, a guide to thy heart and thy way. Be not among winebibbers and riotous eaters of flesh." That's what we're going to deal with. Riotous eaters. "For the drunken and the glutton shall come into poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man as with rags." So we're going to be dealing with gluttony today. With gluttony. Let's get another scripture, Deuteronomy 21. I'm just laying the foundation of it. Gluttony, excess of eating, overeating is gluttony. Deuteronomy 21. Let's start at verse 18. Check this out. If a man have a stubborn or rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when thou hast chastised him, so you gave him a spanking because he's not listening, he will not hearken. So he's flat out rebellious. It's not that you didn't discipline him. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold of him and bring him out unto the elders of the city, unto the gate of the place. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, this is our son, he's stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is gluttonous and a drunkard. All he does is just eat and drink. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to do anything. He's gluttonous and rebellious. Then all the men of the city shall stone him with stones that he die. Thou shalt put evil away from among you, and all of Israel shall hear. So, that hit on so many topics. One is just because they're not at the age of accountability, the Almighty still had them to be subject to their parents. Two, you don't love your children enough to allow them to live in sin. If it was the old covenant, if we were in the old covenant and your son was rebellious and stubborn and just eating, drinking, ditching school, not listening, you're supposed to take them and he's supposed to get stoned. And I know most of you guys will be like, oh, I'll never do that to my children. Yeah, because you'll never be saved. You will never be saved. Because you love your children enough to obey this scripture. This is why I say, hey, if they don't want to obey, then if they want to live like Satan, kick them out and let them live like Satan. Don't let them still have the protection of the parents while still living in sin. Kick them out. Because in the old covenant, they're dead to you anyways. You're supposed to deliver them. But my main point I'm dealing with was they're gluttonous and was a drunkard. They're just overeating. All they do is eat. Now, the other scripture we dealt with, once again, was not given to drunkenness, nor given ear to gluttony. All right? So, I'm going to go with Proverbs 23, verse 1. Back to Proverbs 23. Now, in 23:19, we just dealt with, I'll read 21 again. But the drunkard and the gluttonous shall come into poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe the man of rags. Now let's go to 23, 1 through 4. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man of appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, and for they are deceitful meat. Labor not to be rich, cease from thy own wisdom. So in this case, he's saying, hey, when you go before people, it says put a knife to your throat if you be a man of appetite. Also it says, look diligently on what is before thee. Now, in the direct context of what it's saying, yes, when you go before rulers, and don't just be eating all this stuff and you're going to embarrass yourself like, look, this guy's eating like a savage. Whether self-made or not, right? Like a savage, right? So, they call me Simon the self-made savage, by the way, back in the day. So anyways, carrying on, is look diligently. Some of you guys know you guys are eating too much sugar, mainly sugar. Soda, Twinkies, ice cream, all this stuff. And everything we're going to deal with being moderate in a little bit. So do it in moderation, right? So put a knife to your throat. If you look at Facebook, I challenge you guys to look at Facebook and look at when they take a picture of these congregations. Why is like 80% of the congregation obese? Why is that? Why is the majority of congregations, they're obese, men or women? You don't see that there's a problem that's not being taught? They teach, yes, we need to repent from sin. Yes, we need to live holy and pray and fast and feed the homeless and take care of the fathers and widows and keep yourself unspotted from the world. Keep the feast days. Live holy. Women dress modest. Don't commit fornication and adultery. Don't have idols. No Nike shoes or no Dirt Devil vacuum and no Starbucks coffee with false gods and whatnot. No pictures of angels and false pictures of the Messiah. Yes, we refrain from idolatry. Yes, you live holy. Be ye holy as I am holy. But what about our body being his temple? It says you put a mouth to your throat. Now, there's two types of gluttonies. Me and Whitney was talking about this. The first gluttony is when your body tells you that you are full, right? And you have a little bit left of that burrito or a little bit nacho. You have 3 more bites and you're done with the plate. But your body's already told you you're full and you went ahead and stuffed your mouth And then that's gluttonous. It's excess. Your body told you was full, but you forced it down anyways because you wanted to finish that meal. I didn't want to throw it in the trash, or it's too little to save in the refrigerator. Then throw it in the trash or save in the refrigerator. Those are your options. Your options isn't sinning against the Most High and committing gluttony. That's not an option. Your option isn't to go ahead and just stuff it down my throat. Then if it's just a waste, then you just throw it away. Feed it to the dogs, feed it to the chickens or whatever, right? Or save it. Come back in a couple hours and just eat that bite with something else, right? The other second gluttony is overeating. When you go on the scale, and let's say you weigh 200 pounds, and you come back on that scale 2 weeks later, and you 210 pounds, then that means you have overeaten to the point to where you gain 10 pounds. And I'm not talking about people that go to the gym and put 10 pounds of muscle, which is impossible to do in a week unless you're taking roids. So you put on 10 pounds of fat. That's your body telling you that you are overeaten. And then you go again, and you're 10 pounds or 3 pounds heavier, or 4 pounds here, or 3 pounds. And a year later, you're 50 pounds heavier than what you were. You are gluttonous. You are overeating. You are consuming more calories than your body needs to maintain itself. You're overeating. You're excess. You are a riotous eater. That's you. The scale is telling you, the Almighty's using the scale that's telling you, whatever you're doing, you need to stop. You need to cease and desist. You need to put less calories into your body because you have well more than enough to sustain yourself, to the point to where you put 50 pounds of fat on. You are gluttonous. Another example. Let's see if I could get it. Okay, I'll do you guys later. All right, I'll use my right hand and my left hand. I want to ask you this question. Now, we know it's a sin to be drunk, right? You know it's a sin to be drunk, all right? You have one person that gets drunk every day, right? The Bible says, be ye sober-minded. The Bible just condemns drunkenness. We just read 2 scriptures that condemn drunkenness, right? He drinks every day. He gets drunk every day. You have another person that drinks every day, but does not get drunk every day. This person gets cirrhosis of the liver. But before he gets cirrhosis of the liver, that's when your liver starts, you put too much alcohol and your body can't take, because your liver breaks down the toxin of alcohol, and you over consume too much alcohol to where your liver is failing. So before you get cirrhosis of the liver, the doctor tells you, like, hey, your liver is starting to fail. You need to stop drinking. But in his mind, he says, well, I don't get drunk. I just drink a couple beers every day. I never get drunk. I don't sin against the Most High. And this person don't got cirrhosis of the liver, but he gets drunk every day. Who's outside the will of the Most High? Very good. Both of them. Both of them. Because one, he's getting drunk, and the Bible says be sober-minded. The other person drinks every day, doesn't get drunk, but he is killing his liver. He's still outside the will of the Most High. He's still sinning. He's destroying the Almighty's temple. Because the doctor has warned them that for you to get cirrhosis of the liver does not mean you have to get drunk. That just means you're overindulging in alcohol. That's all that means. But they get in their mindset like, oh, well, I don't get drunk, so it's not sin. You reap what you sow, right? So, once again, 2 types of gluttony. One, you just overeat. You're overeating in one session, one meal, lunch, dinner, whatnot. Or 2, you get on that scale, or you go to the doctors and you realize, like, hey, you need to lose weight. You get on that scale and you gain more weight, then that means you took more calories than your body needed. And most of the time, people that do that do not exercise. So it's not muscle gain. So let's keep going. Why is it, once again, that when you see, oh, I was going to ask you guys, all right, since you guys here, you guys heard the question about the alcohol when you're there? No? 2 people. One gets drunk every day, right? One gets drunk every day. The other one doesn't get drunk every day, but he drinks, but now he's getting cirrhosis of the liver. Which one's outside the will of the Most High? Both of them. Ariel said it right. Both of them. So, let's keep going. When we see on Facebook that majority of congregations are overweight, this is a problem, especially for us serving the Almighty. We need to come in the likeness and represent the Almighty in all aspects to the best of our ability. Yeah, we may have to work on anger, or we may have to work on showing up to work on time, or we may have to work on dealing with lust. Or everyone's serving the Almighty, and there's strengths and weaknesses, and you need to get those weaknesses to strength. Whether being a better father or being a better husband. Yeah, you repented and you got baptized, but there's areas you can work on, right? So, this is an area I see that's a problem. The majority of people that say they serve the Almighty are lazy. And like I've always said, which I teach my kids, laziness is for who? Broken fat people. Lazy. You will not find someone fat that's not lazy. There are outliers. There are some fat people that can run and jump high. And they are hard workers at the job. That is a small percentage. We're not dealing with the minority or the outliers. We're not dealing with the people that smoke a pack a day and live to 115. We're not dealing with those people. That is an outlier. That is a very small percentage of people. You know what I'm saying? The majority of poor people, not now because they're collapsing, they're going to start the New World Order, but the majority of people that are poor, watch them. They don't want to work. They don't want to get a better paying job. They don't want to go to college. They don't want to improve a skill. They don't want to learn a craft. They are content with staying at working at this stocking shelves and that's it. They don't want to get a better job. They don't want to move up in the company. They don't want to take extra classes so they can get this position that's going to be opening in 6 months. Look at the majority of people that are struggling. Yes, there are people in different countries. You're born in different places in Europe where the economy's trash. There are some where there's just no opportunity to excel. I'm not talking with them. I'm talking about the lazy people. I'm not talking about there's just no... Construction's slow for me right now. There's just... If your job gets sold out and you lost your job because the company gets bought out or whatnot, that's what happened to me. But a company gets bought out, then what? There's no work, there's no work. That's totally different. I'm dealing with the ones that are poor, that are lazy. You will not find rich, lazy people. There's a small percentage. They got big on YouTube and they're lazy. They started an app and they got super big and it went viral. There's a small percentage of lazy people that do become wealthy. But the majority of lazy people are broken fat. Right? So, I'm going to prove that in the Bible though. Because when I say that, they'll be like, oh, you know, that's offensive. I'll say, hey, laziness is for broken fat people. Let's see if this makes sense. Go to Proverbs 6. Let's see. So we're dealing with gluttony today, and we're going to be dealing with laziness. And we're going to be dealing with our body being the Almighty's temple, and we're going to be dealing with faith without works. Proverbs 6. We're going to be in Proverbs quite some time. So you can bookmark that. Proverbs 6, 6 through 8. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. And that's being lazy. A lazy person was called a sloth or a sluggard. So, by the way, are being slothful. There we go. Consider her ways and be wise. Have no guide or overseer ruler. Provided meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou rise up out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty, you're going to be broke, come as a travail of they that want as an armed man. So it says you're going to be broke. You don't want to work, you're going to be broke. You don't want to till that ground, then don't expect the corn or the wheat or the barley or the fruits or the vegetable to grow on its own. And when it's time for harvest and everyone has a harvest coming in and you don't got mangoes on your tree, you know what I'm saying? Because we were just talking about mangoes, that's what I'll say. Because people don't want to plant mangoes and whatnot. But you don't have nothing, then you're going to be in poverty, right? Go ahead and give me chapter 10, same book, 10:4. 10:4. He becometh poor that dealeth with slack hands. Uh-oh. Did I say laziness for broke people? You becometh poor that have slack hands. But the hand of the diligent maketh rich. When people are gluttonous and they go to the doctor, or they see that their stomach is getting, or they're getting jelly rolls or whatnot, they know what to do. They know that they need to exercise, or they need to restrict their diet on useless calories. I'm not saying the rice or the beans or whatnot. Useless calories is soda, ice cream, cookies, candy, cake. Those are useless calories. When you're eating eggs or fish or meat, when you're eating protein, let's say beans, your body uses protein. When you go to sleep, 80% of your repairing is while you sleep. So the protein helps you to recover for the next day. Right? Your body needs fats and proteins for development, right? For, I forgot the word for it, to replenish the neurons and whatnot. So, let's keep going. Give me same chapter, verse 26. As vinegar to the teeth and as smoke to the eyes, so is a sluggard to them that send him. When you send a lazy person to get some work done, how's that work out for you? Terrible. Let's keep going. Chapter 12, verse 24. How was it when you was trying to plant seeds the other day? Did that work out for you? Yes or no? When you were working with other people? Didn't work out too well, huh? Chapter 12, verse 24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. They're going to be the ones under tribute. They're going to be low, right? Let's keep going. 13:4. Same book. 13:4. The soul of a sluggard desireth and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Uh-oh. I keep telling you, laziness is for broken fat people. Let's keep going. 18, verse 9. The words of a talebearer are as wounds. And they, 18 verse 9, sorry. He that is slothful in his work is a brother to him that is a great waster. And that's the truth. That's a great waster. And bringing that to our bodies is, there are people born with disabilities. There are people born with no legs. There are people born with not an average working body. And when we just defile our temple and we just eat and don't discipline, don't exercise, don't do nothing, you're wasting your body. The Almighty, there are people that, I've seen this video where it was a guy was looking at a dude in a car. He's like, man, and he was walking. And he was like, man, I wish I could have a car, because he's walking. And while he's walking, there's a guy in a wheelchair looking out the window, looking at the guy walking, saying, man, I wish I could walk. And it just shows the perspective, because I'm walking, you're like, whoo, I wish I had a car. But someone in a wheelchair with no legs, like, man, I wish I could walk like that guy. And you have a perfectly working body, and you're destroying it through obesity. You're destroying your body through obesity, right? Let's keep going. Where are we at? That was 18. Give me 20, verse 4. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Oh, it's too cold outside. I don't want to work. Therefore, he shall beg and harvest and have nothing. I was telling, we were talking the other day about mangoes. How we have this mango tree, and everyone asks us for mangoes. And we planted one tree, and it was like the size of my wrist, and now it's like the size of my thigh or whatnot. It's pretty good size, and it only took 3 years. We bought it. It's like, what? No, one was 5, the other one was 3.
Yeah.
One was 5 and the other one, but they both bear fruit. And so I was like, why so many people come and asking for our mangoes? If you go down that main road, there's mad mango trees with mad mangoes where you could just pick them off, right? And then I'm like, why don't they just pay the $40 and plant a mango if they have a place? You know? So we're going to deal with the scripture in a little bit, but the proverb is teach a man Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man a fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. And so I said, okay, we're going to give this person 3 mangoes, right? Let's see if they really about their business. Faith without works, dead being alone. We're going to get in that a little bit. And the goal is to get people to want to help themselves. Because the lazy way, the slothful person, the lazy person, they're not going to want to plant. Wait, let me hit that scripture again. Verse 4. The slothful will not plow by reason of the cold, therefore he shall beg and harvest and have nothing. A lazy person will never want to plant the seeds and grow their own tomatoes. There's nothing wrong with buying tomatoes. That's fine. I'm going to pay for a mechanic. I don't want to learn how to fix a transmission. That is fine. But I shouldn't go and ask someone to do it for free. If I don't want to plant my own, and if someone's giving me an opportunity to learn and I just plant my own and they grow on their own, especially in Belize, stuff is grow. San Diego, oh, you're struggling to grow anything. We barely get rain. We get like 3 inches a year, right? So then why is it okay to just ask for it free? I don't want to plant my own, and I don't want to go to the store and buy, but I want to get it from free from this person that I don't know when they come to my house, and I don't even know them, and they're asking for my mangoes. You don't want to plant, you don't want to buy, but you just want to go and get it for free. You want something for nothing. That is the epitome of being lazy. They want something for nothing. It's cold, I don't want to work. And then when they get out there, guess what? It says, verse 4, therefore they shall beg and harvest and have nothing. So now you want it for free because you didn't want to work. You want to go and beg for free. I'm not saying that brothers and sisters, we help each other in the body. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the people that we don't even know. And they come, oh, you got some mangoes. It's like, dude, I don't even know you. Why are you coming to my house asking for mangoes? I don't even know you. So let's keep going. Give me 21. 15. 21, 15. Nah, the wrong scripture. Go ahead and give me 24 or 30 then. I must have miswrote it. That's not the scripture I want.
Proverbs 21.
Yeah, but it's not the one. 24, 30. I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of a man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns and nettles, and covered the face thereof, and the stone thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered, and I looked upon it, and I received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and they want as an armed man. We read that before, so it's saying it again. I keep telling you, laziness is for broke people. A lot of times things that come in our life, we could change, but we choose not to. I know people that choose not to try to find a better job, that choose not to try to learn a new craft, and then they're struggling, and then some of them will get depressed because their financial situation, but for years they didn't want to do anything to get out of this financial situation. So then it's self-inflicted harm. Because your own laziness is your own downfall. Why do you think the other dude is going to beg because they don't? And like a prime example, we're based in San Diego, the Bay and Belize, and we reach out to people, and if we had to go to different states to baptize people and whatnot, have people in congregation, we have people that watch. But a lot of people in Belize, they got land, even if they're rented. Like we're rented, but we got 2 mango trees. And we got aloe vera, and we're renting. We just plant and we attend, right? We had some chickens and they were pooping everywhere, so we got rid of them, right? So these people have the ability to get a seed or get a bush and get this, and they don't want to do it. And then they'll get upset at their circumstance. Like, man, what am I doing wrong? This. You are your own enemy. Your laziness is your own enemy. When you go to the doctor and they say you're type 2 diabetic, or you're pre-diabetic, or you're this and this, and you're upset at that news, but the fault is your own actions. And then they get depressed or they get sad or they get this and they're going through this simply because they knew to do better and they chose not to. When you're lazy and you do not want to exercise, and then you get mad at the report that says, yeah, you got a clogged artery, or some people find out that they're in bad health when they get their first stroke. They're like, yeah, man, you got clogged arteries. You didn't realize that you're 50 pounds heavier than what you were 5, 6, 7 years ago? And you had your first stroke, and then that's when they realized, like, oh, I had a stroke. I could have died. It's like you've known for years that you've been gaining weight. You've been overeating. You've been gluttonous for year after year after year, and you make no change. Some of you, especially you Hebrews, you guys don't want to give up fried foods. You love that fried chicken. You love, man, fried foods is like the worst you could do besides eating pork, and we serve the Almighty, so we don't eat that. Like, fried foods is worse. I even pull back on donuts when I realize they're fried. Look up how fried foods does to the fat. It's like hydrocortisone something. And it's an extremely bad type of fat, and it clogs arteries. Poly and your monosaturated fat are, like, let's say olive oil. Olive oil, the heat could break down, your body heat breaks down the fat, and it does not clog arteries. But certain fats like the donuts or fried chicken, that fat doesn't break down at 98 degrees, 98.6 or whatnot. It doesn't break down at your body's temperature, and so it clogs your arteries. And then when you get your stroke and you're upset or you're depressed or you're frustrated or this and this and this, and you're crying and praying to the Almighty, but the fault is your own. Like probably 60-70% of the stuff that happens in our life ain't because what sinners did to us. It's because we were lazy or we did not want to apply ourselves. Pretty much just lazy. Why don't you have more money? Lazy. Why are you the condition you are? You're obese or got a stroke or diabetic? Lazy. You didn't want to exercise. Exercise is the freest thing. Go outside and run up a hill. Do some push-ups. Do some sit-ups. It's free. You have the ability to extend your lifetime for free, and people still choose not to do it. With getting a job, you need to get a resume. Maybe you're trying to get a job and you don't have transportation to catch the bus, to catch the trolley. Even getting a job takes some kind of level of finances to get the job sometimes. Maybe your mom will give you a loan, that way you can buy your uniform or whatever. Depending on how far the job is or whatnot, sometimes you're going to make a sacrifice and it costs you money to get the job. Like if I had a car and it cost me $30 a day to get to work and get back, I just got to eat $30 a day in gas, right? I get that. But being obese is a choice. Being overweight is laziness. And how many more scriptures we need to deal about being lazy before you realize you sinned against the Most High? And how fat do you need to get before you know you're outside the will and inside and you're gluttonous? Let's keep going. 26, verse 14. How much weight does a person need to get before they say enough is enough? And we're going to deal with skinny people too. Because skinny people are diabetics too. Skinny people can get clogged arteries too. If a skinny person has a fast metabolism, so they can eat a donut and they're not going to gain a weight, while another person eats a donut and they just look at a donut and they gain weight. Some people have slow metabolism. But clogged arteries and bad fats is bad fats. You could be a skinny person and have a stroke, and you could be a skinny person and be a diabetic. Not only are we dealing with obesity, we're dealing on health, because your body is His temple. So don't get twisted. Any person that's just because you're not overweight and you're not obese, you're not immune to getting a stroke or becoming a diabetic and getting your leg cut off because you don't have circulation. Getting erectile dysfunction because you don't have circulation, you don't have blood flow, right? Let's keep going. 26:14. As a door turneth upon the hinges, so doth a slothful upon his bed. The slothful hideth his hands in his bosom, and it grieved him to put it out to his mouth. They hideth his hands in his bosom. Man, it's too cold. I ain't working today, man. It's way too cold to work out today. There's a lion in the way. They don't even want to get their hands and put it to their mouth. Let's keep going. Now, let's deal with salvation and being lazy. Matthew 25. And we dealt with this. The Feast of First Fruit, Feast of Weeks. First Fruits. Matthew 25. Let's start at verse 14. You guys ready? Matthew 25, verse 14. How's that case working out? Is it working pretty good? Good stuff, good stuff. All right, cool. Let's get it. Matthew 25, and we're going to start at verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling a far country who has called his servants and delivered unto him his goods. So he just called his servants, delivered unto him his goods. This is how the kingdom is. So we can understand how he views salvation. Right? How the Almighty. So we can understand that. And he gave unto one 5 talents, another 2, and another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway he took his journey. Then he that had received 5 talents went and traded the same, and he made them of other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained the other 2. But he that received 1 went and digged it in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. And a long time the Almighty, the Lord of that servant, cometh and reckoned unto him. So when he had received 5 talents, he came and brought it unto the 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou hast delivered unto me 5 talents. Behold, I gained besides them 5 talents more. And the Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Almighty. And that's what we want the Almighty to say to us. Enter thou in the joy of the Almighty. That's the words I am looking forward to when I have to give an account that it says, hey, did you go and teach my gospel? Did you go and save souls? Did you go and push the line and work in my vineyard and bring the harvest in? Right? Verse 22. He that also have received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou hast delivered unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them. And the Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Almighty. Then he that received 1 talent came and said unto him, Lord, I knew that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth, and lo, thou hast that is thine. I hear he gave him back what you gave him. He did nothing, right? Look what he says. Verse 26. His Lord answered and said to him, Now wicked and what? Uh-oh. You lazy. You lazy. And he called him wicked. Servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I not strong. Now ought therefore to put my money in the exchange, and then at my coming I will shew my own with usury. Usury is interest. So he was about his business too. Put it in the bank that I could get some interest on it, right? For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. For him that hath not shall be taken away, even what he hath. Cast ye that unprofitable servant into outer darkness, where there should be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. Being lazy will send you to the lake of fire. Now, in the direct context of what he's saying that we need to go out and save souls and work in his vineyard. We need to go work in his field. In the direct context of that. But we see that being lazy is outside the will of the Most High. So if you are lazy, especially, I'm dealing on 2 aspects. Not only I'm dealing with gluttony, I'm dealing with even men striving. If you know you're not in a financial position to take care of your family how you want, find a new job, build up your resume, learn a new craft, do what you need to do. Don't just stay at a dead-end job. Start a business. Believe in yourself. Start a side hustle. Figure it out. Do not be lazy. Do not be content with being a low-paying job. If you're barely treading water and you're barely staying afloat of bills, to where you're surviving and you're not living. You know what surviving is? You just work and pay bills, work and pay bills, work and pay bills. That is survive. And everyone is in a survival situation. It may last 6 months. It may last 2 years. But you're in this situation temporary, but you're going to press through and get to the point to where now I can pay bills, and every once in a while we go out to the movies. Or every once in a while we go to a vacation. Or every once in a while we go to the park or we go to the fair. And we can actually live life and not survive life. We can actually live. And that's the goal. But we only get to that goal not being lazy. If you always do what you always done, you'll always get what you always got. So for you to get a different result, you have to do different things, and that requires effort. And you cannot be lazy and expect a different result. There's no way around that, especially you men out there. You're not pushing yourself to your full potential. And then you're going to get upset when unnecessary. Do you know the anxiety, the stress of being broke is? It's like a weight that's always on you. Here, let's get this weight right here. See? And it's a little 10-pound weight, right? Now imagine having like 50 pounds of weight just on you. Every day it's like, man, dude, I got to pay this bill. Man, what am I going to eat? Man, I'm broke. I don't got gas money. And when you're broke and bills are coming and more bills are coming, the money's coming, it's a weight. Every day you are thinking about how I am broke and I do not like my situation and my position in life. And what could I have done better? Then you start reenacting, going through the past. Where did I mess up in life? Am I not applying myself? This and this and this. And it just weighs you down. And then don't let that compound with you getting arguments with your wife or your husband. So now you got to deal with that. Plus you're still broke. The kids are acting up and you're still broke. Then you got sick, so you missed a couple of work days, but you're still broke, so you still got more. And it's a weight that just weighs you down. But you could press through and not be a victim, be an overcomer. And that's where the people of the Most High says we're more than champions. We're an overcomer. There come times where you might get depressed and you feel like throwing in the towel. But we are overcomers. Winners win and losers lose. And then people say, oh, that doesn't make sense. When I remember I said it. The difference is losers are content with taking an L. And winners say, okay, I may have lost this time, but I will prevail. Next round, all right? If I fall, I get myself back up. I thought you knew. And if I fall, I get myself back up for round 2. I made that up in high school, though, by the way. But pretty much that's what it is. I am, that was bars. That was bars. That was bars. But anyways, behind bars. So my main point is, when we in that position, you men out there, especially men out there, maybe single mothers out there, you in that position, think of ways. Maybe it's just a side hustle. Maybe you just do one Uber Eats a day, and that's just $6 here, $6 here, $6 here, and that gets you $50 or $100 at the end of the month. With that $100, you do that. Maybe you send your kid and say, "Hey, son, we struggling right now. I'm going to send you with some candy, sell some candy, and you keep half the profits, I keep half the profits." Teach your kid to be an entrepreneur. Figure something out. Press through. Don't be lazy. Don't accept defeat, because then you're a loser. You are accepted just taking an L. Winners will not accept that. That's why winners win. They do not accept taking L's. They know I have to take L's in life, but I'm trying to win the game of life. I will lose battles, but I will win this war. So this is why we cannot be lazy. This is especially you men. Back to the gluttonous people. You know you're outside the will of the Almighty. You know it's not the will of the Almighty for you to get. So you're going to say, if it's okay to be fat and obese, then you're also by default saying, the Almighty wants me to get a stroke. The Almighty wants me to be a diabetic and have erectile dysfunction, or get circulation, not get circulation, that's His will. So this is why I'm going to keep eating this ice cream. This is why I'm going to keep eating pizza and donut. And this is why the scale is going to keep someone a heavier weight every time I get on the scale. Because that's the Almighty's will. And goodwill, it says that I may bring life and bring life more abundantly. This is why He says, if any is sick, pray for the elders. And if they sin, that the prayer of faith shall save the sick. So He's saying, if you're sick, have the elders come to you so you can get healed. So it's not His will for you to be a diabetic, for you to get a stroke, to be high cholesterol, for all that stuff. It's not His will for that to be, right? You follow me? And if that's not His will, then you can't eat according that will lead you to that. You got to have some moderation, right? Let's keep going. Let's do the shout outs. You got the shout outs? All right, cool. Shout outs. Vince, Gia, Couture, Karen, Howard, Caspetila, Bailey, Lancy, Sanchez, Zura Zion, Reese, Lindsay, Jocelyn, Vincent, Damari, Kamari, Joshua, Izzy, Ariel, Naba, Kashem, Zahara. I appreciate you guys. I want you guys to be saved and make it into the kingdom. Let's keep going. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. I challenge you guys on Facebook. Look up when they have any congregation pictures where there's 5 or 10 or 15 people, when they, especially during the feast days when they're putting up all their congregation pictures, and 60-80% are obese. Why don't they teach health? What is the problem? And you'll spend all this time arraying yourself in fringes, getting these nice royal looking outfits where the sisters are together, brothers looking together, and you are just corrupted to the core, knowing if you went to the hospital you're going to get some news you don't want to hear from the doctor. But you array yourself all in royalty and all nice, but then your body is destroyed and dilapidated. Let's keep going. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh which is in you, which you have from the Almighty, and you are not your own. You're not your own, so don't just be eating like you could do whatever you want to do and destroy your body as much as you want to destroy. For you are bought with a price, therefore glorify the Almighty in your body and in the Spirit which are the Almighty's. Do you glorify your body being obese? Do you glorify is that how you glorify your body? By destroying it? With excess eating? With gluttony? When we know that's a sin? With being lazy? When we know that's a sin? Is that how you're glorifying the body? And it's not the weight that will get you. It's the laziness. It's not the pants that will send women outside the will of the Almighty. It's the unmodesty. It's the fact that pants tailor around and show her silhouette, which by default makes her unmodest. It's not the weight in and of itself that's going to send you to the lake of fire. It's the fact that you know to do better. And you know you're destroying your body and you're too lazy to do anything about it. That is what's going to get you outside the will of the Most High. Because you could be fat or obese and make it into the kingdom. But you are actually exercising and doing something about it. Right? You follow me? There's a person that's come to the Almighty, just got baptized. And if they died, but they were actually repentant from sin, even though I'm keeping more commandments than them, and they don't know as much as the Bible. Let's say they only know the 10 commandments. And they're keeping all 10 of these commandments, they're going to make it. They may not even know that they shouldn't have a dirt devil vacuum. But the little that they know, they're keeping it full-fledged, they'll make it into the kingdom. Whereas me that have more knowledge, I cannot just keep only 10. I won't make it. So a person that's outside, that's actually exercising, trying to lose the weight, trying to treat their temple of the Almighty right, trying to do right, trying to show the Almighty they're thankful for the body they get, hey, they'll make it. But the lazy ones, that's not going to do nothing. That's not going to give up that fried fish and that fried chicken. That's not going to restrict how much soda. Soda will bring most of you guys down. Soda will make most of you guys diabetic. Soda is so empty calorie. There's no vitamins in it. There's no minerals in it. There's no protein in it. There's nothing. It's just empty calories that you're just going to create fat. You're just going to create the fat. Let's keep going. I was telling Wendy, we looked up the other day. Did you know muscle burns, what is it, 3.5 times more energy? So if someone weighs 200 pounds and they're 32% body fat, so they're pretty fat, right? And another weighs 200 pounds and they're 13% body fat. They got a six pack. Let's say 13% body fat. They have more muscle mass. They both weigh the same amount. The one with more muscle mass burns 3.5 more calories than the fat person. Because to maintain muscle requires more calories. So they actually can eat more. So it pays, if you're trying to burn weight, do some resistance training. Put some muscle on. And you'll burn calories as you do your cardio or as you exercise. But let's keep going. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 10. I think it's 2.5 times. You can look it up sometime after Sabbath. Look up how much more muscle, how much calories muscle burns more than fat. So do some resistance training in with your cardio. Maybe cardio one day, resistance training the other day. Maybe cardio, lower body, cardio, upper body, cardio, lower body, cardio, upper body. Do that. Hey, and get it tight, get it right. You'll have more energy, everything. Stuff will look younger, stuff will perform better, you'll have less joint pain. You pray, some of you guys have back pain. That's because you're 60, 80 pounds more than what your spine needs. Some of you have swollen feet. If you will lose 80 pounds, your feet won't be swollen anymore. Your knees won't hurt anymore. The back pain will leave. You'll find out very quickly how much pain goes away if you just lose the weight. Ecclesiastics, we're going to start at chapter 10. And verse 18. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of hands, that's what we're going to get into, the house droppeth through. So is your body decaying? If you're the temple of the Most High, is your body decaying? Have you went to the doctor? Do you feel you're in shape? Let's say this is 3 feet. Could you guys climb over a fence like this? Or a 5-foot fence? Could you guys climb over a 5 or a 4-foot fence, like climb over it? No, I can't do that. Could you guys jump 1.5 foot? And no, that's a bare minimum to know if you're in shape. That's like a little kid could do that. That doesn't mean, oh, I must be good. When you go to the doctor, do they say everything's good? Well, everything's good and I'm overweight. Yeah, they say that now. Let's see in 5 years. Remember, I could smoke a pack a day today and go to the doctor. I could do it for 6 months to go to the doctor. They say you're in good shape. But there's going to come a time where I smoke that pack a day and they're going to say you got throat cancer, or your lungs are failing, or you got lung cancer. It will come. So even if you did go to the doctor, which I say go to the doctor so they can tell you, and they happen to say you're okay, but they guarantee you they're going to say you're 60 pounds over 80 pounds overweight, you're 20 pounds overweight. They're not going to say you're okay on the weight division. Some of you skinny people, they may say you're okay, but go ahead and keep eating saturated fats and watch, because at the end of the day, that does not break down at body temperature, and that will clog your arteries. So you need to figure it out. Your body is the Almighty's temple. Don't be lazy. Do what you need to do to get healthy. Let's keep going. Proverbs 31. You're almost done. Good stuff. And we're going to start at verse 13. So it says, hey, you can't have no idle hands. You got to put your hands to the plow. You men out there, put your hands to the plow. You young men out there, put the hands to the plow. I tell Kamari, he's out for the summer. Either you're with the boy or you're going to work. Go find some work. You're out for the summer, go find some work. Go make some money. Yeah, so, yeah, you do. Proverbs 31:13. We'll start with verse 10. We'll start at verse 10. Who could find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies. So this is a woman of virtuous price. You women aren't exempt from being lazy. Let's check this out. Verse 11. Her heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no evil or no need of spoil. He shall have no need of spoil. There we go. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax willingly with her hands. They're not idle. She is like a merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth while it's yet night. She'll like, oh, I'm too tired. I'm going to sleep in. She'll wake up and make her husband her lunch. She gave a meat to her household and portion to her maiden. She consider field and buy it, and the fruit of her hands she plant a vineyard. No idle hands, not lazy there, right? She's not going to be like the slothful that's going to beg in the time of harvest, right? She girdeth her loins with strength and strength in her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle and her hands to the distaff. She stretches out her hands to the poor, and she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, and for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh her coverings with tapestry and clothed with silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. Trying to relate that to the day when you bring your lunch. They're like, oh, who made that for you? Oh, my wife. Oh, that smells good. Oh, my wife made this last night. But man, that's good stuff. He gets praised at the gates. Oh, who did that? Or who patched up that? Or who fixed that? Oh, my wife did that. What? She does that? Yeah, she did that for me. She gets praised at the gates. verse 20. 24. She maketh fine linen, she selleth it, she and delivereth her girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are in her clothing. She shall rejoice in the time to come. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is full of the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. She's not lazy. Let's keep going. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and it praises her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but she excelled them all. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. And I keep telling you guys, yes, you want to be attracted to your spouse. But when you have that make 60% of the decision who you marry, it's going to be to your ruin. All those men that trying to brag and do this and have this trophy wife stuff, this is the true trophy wife. You notice that it didn't talk about her beauty at all. It talked about what she did and the character and caliber of person she is. It says, beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Almighty shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands and let her own works praise her in the gates. Now, side note, yes, you want to find someone you're attracted to because you got to spend the rest of your life with, but that can't be the main factor. You're looking for someone that can make a good wife, and you're looking for someone that can make a good husband. You're looking for someone that can make a good mother. You're looking for someone that can make a good father. You're not looking for someone to be pretty when you find a companion. You want someone attracted to, but the characteristics and the caliber of person you're looking for is someone you're going to spend the rest of your life with. No big boobs or big butt is going to teach your kids their colors, their numbers. Take them to school, drop them off. I heard a story of a man, he had a wife, and she was bribing her son because she didn't want to wake up to take him to school to say, hey, I'll give you extra treats if you don't tell your dad that I didn't take you to school today. And he had to find out that 2 times out of the week, he'll come to work and his wife would just oversleep and was too lazy to wake up and get dressed and take his son to school. Imagine having a wife like that that's so lazy you can't even take your kid to get a good education. Her laziness is hurting her son's education. And he's stuck with that. Right? I don't know if she looks good, but maybe he picked her based off of looks and not based off of caliber, right? That's what happens. You reap what you sow, right? But my main point is she don't eat the bread of idleness. Once again, laziness is for broken fat people. But let's keep going. Go ahead and we're almost done. Proverbs 25. You guys man, I am done with Proverbs. Proverbs 25. Verse 28. You come home, imagine coming home to a wife and then nothing's done. Nothing's clean. No clothes are washed. Nothing's done. What did you do all day? Nothing. Did you cook dinner? No. Imagine that. Why does my kid have a poo-poo diaper? It look like this diaper's been on him for 5 hours. I don't have that problem, but I'm saying, imagine coming home to that. Imagine coming home to a lazy husband where you're thinking he's going to lead you and he leads to a dead-end job. And you're going to struggle for the next 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of his life because your husband don't want to get a better paying job. Your husband doesn't want to excel. Your husband doesn't want to work on himself and learn a new craft or get a new trade. He's just lazy. So he led you to a cul-de-sac. He led you to a dead-end road. And you'll spend the rest of your life in poverty because the leader isn't leading. Let's keep going. Proverbs 25, 28. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Check that out. Those people that addicted to sugar, to coffee, to energy drinks, those people that give in to their anger and punch through walls and throw stuff, you don't have control of your spirit. You know that it's time to lose weight, or you know it's time to stop being lazy. You have no restriction. You have no restriction. You don't have no power over your spirit. It says, once again, he that have no rule over his own spirit. When you know you don't need to be getting all those calories every week. Restrict. It's destroying your temple. Have power over your spirit. Have rule over your spirit. It says, how are you free? When Coffee has rule. When you get irritable, if you don't have your coffee, then coffee has rule over you, over your emotions. When you have to get an energy drink, that means you're not sleeping and hydrated and not getting a healthy dinner. Go to sleep earlier. Hydrate before you go to sleep and eat an actual meal. Some protein, some carbs, and some vitamin minerals. Meats, fruits and vegetables, and some carbs, some bread, some pastas, some grains. Have a well-balanced diet. If you don't eat meat, hey, I don't know what to say. You better load up on some yogurt or some beans. It takes a lot of fruits and vegetables to equate to 30 grams of protein. You're going to be sucking. But get a proper meal, get proper sleep, and wake up in the morning, and you don't have to be addicted to coffee. You'll have just enough energy to get you through the day. When you wake up in the morning, have a solid breakfast. Get some oatmeal and some eggs, some cheesy eggs and some oatmeal, some cream of wheat and some oatmeal. Add some fruits in there. Maybe cut up some mangoes, watermelon, whatever. A solid breakfast. All meals. Vitamins and minerals, that comes from your greens. Protein comes from meats, some beans, grains, pasta, rice, whatever. Flour, bread, get your grains. Full balanced meal, and you'll have enough energy, and you could kick that Red Bull. You could kick, you shouldn't be doing Red Bull, but you could kick that Monster drink, right? You could kick all that stuff. You don't be addicted to coffee. Get the sleep you need, get the rest you need, get the hydration you need, you'll be fine. Wake up in the morning, get a solid breakfast, you'll be fine. You'll have all the energy you need. When you know, there's so many times Brother Vince knows, because, he has nighttime service, so he'll have some refreshments and whatnot. But so many times, man, that stuff be looking good. But I'm like, man, nah. Because if I develop a habit of eating unhealthy, then I'm going to pay for it in 10 years from now. So let me just develop healthy habits now and restricting myself from calories or useless calories and being addicted to sweets all the time. Let's keep going. Galatians chapter 6. 3 more scriptures, we done. Galatians chapter 6. Galatians 6, and let's get 7 and 8. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. For if thou sowest in thy flesh, thou shalt reap corrupt. Of thy flesh thou shalt reap corruption. But if thou sowest to the Spirit, thou shalt reap life everlasting. In the direct context, this is dealing with sin. This is dealing with sin. So, Vince said we don't eat unhealthy. I never said you guys eat unhealthy. I know you have refreshments. You have those, you be having donuts and cool little refreshments I want to eat and whatnot. That's what I'm saying. You can't say you don't be having no desserts. I know that. I don't know what you guys eat. I'm not saying you guys eat unhealthy. But anyway, so I don't know if you're talking to me on that or talking to the people above. So, Galatians 6. Now, in the direct context, this is talking about with sin, if you sow it in the flesh. But that applies to all things. What you reap, you shall sow. If I plant seeds in my yard, I will grow the plant. You reap what you sow. That's the universal law. So if you sow into yourself unhealthy foods for year after year, you're going to reap corruption. Your body's going to get corrupted, whether it's a cancer, whether it's diabetes, whether it's heart disease. Heart disease is a leading cause. And a leading cause that leads you to heart disease is obesity. So you will reap corruption by what you sow in your body. Remember, food is for sustenance and for medicine. So there's really no medicine you get out of drinking a whole bunch of soda. There's no medicine you get out of that. You don't wake up in the morning and just eat cake and drink tea or something like that, right? You don't do stuff like that. You eat healthy, right? So let's keep going. Philippians chapter 4. And we're going to start at verse 5. Let your moderation be known unto all men that the Lord is at hand. Now, what's supposed to be moderate? If you look up the definition of moderate, which I'll get for you because I screenshotted it for you guys. There we Moderate. Average in amount or intensity or quality or degree. We walk at a moderate pace. So you're supposed to be moderate. We can't be eating in excess. We can't be eating in intensity. We can't be, like the scripture says in Proverbs 23, a riotous eater. You can't be aggressively eating, because that leads to weight gain, that leads to obesity, and that leads to problems coming on later in life, right? It says, let your moderation. Are you moderate in how you eating? Yeah, I am. Then why do you your numbers keep going up on the scale? Why does your numbers keep going up on the scale if you're moderate? It says, let your moderation be known to all things. And we should walk circumspectly. You can't excel in reading and praying, but you just suck at your eating habits. You can't excel in brotherly love, but you're showing up late to work all the time. You can't excel in outreaching and going out and outreaching all the time, but then you're a terrible employee, or you don't spend time with your kids. It says we need to walk circumspectly. We need to try to be good on all aspects and all areas of our life. It's not, oh, I'm living holy, I'm doing this and doing that, and you're eating like trash. How do you pray for your food? Let's keep going. Praying for your food is like in the Garden Eve. In the Garden Eve. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. Go to James chapter 2. Last scripture. James chapter 2.
There.
Verse 15. If thy brother or sister be naked or destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart from me, depart in peace, be warmed and filled, notwithstanding you give them not those things that are needful to the body, what does it profit? If I'm going to pray for you, but you don't help the brother out. You see the brother struggling, I'm going to pray for you. And that's it. You don't help him out. When you have the ability to do it, it says, what does it profit? It says, even so, faith, if it have no works, is dead being alone. Faith without works is dead. It does nothing. You're literally praying for your food that it does not harm you, but you're eating unhealthy food. You literally will be sick and pray to the Almighty for health. Or if you got that call on saying you're obese or diabetic, you'll pray for the Almighty for healing, but then you still want to eat unhealthy. You pray for health, but eat unhealthy. How does that make sense? That's like Eve. See, what gets you with the food is Eve. It says, the serpent's like, can you eat anything? It's like, we can eat anything, but this we cannot eat. You should surely die. And the serpent was like, thou shalt not surely die. For then you eat of it, you should be as gods, knowing good and evil. And so she ate of it, and she thought the Almighty was lying. She's like, man, I ate of this, and I did not die. The Almighty was wrong. No, you started aging. Now you're starting to die. It's a slow death. So when you eat that Twinkie, no, you're not going to die. But guess what? Years of you eating that will kill you. When I smoke a cigarette, no, I'm not going to die right away. But years of smoking cigarettes will kill you. And that's what happens. Faith without works is dead being alone. You can't sow garbage food into your body and not be corrupted by it. You can't overindulge and then your weight. Come on now. You know good and well if your weight goes up, if it's fat or if it's muscle. You know good and well that if you look down as a man and your boobs are showing, and you got boobs, that means you need to tone it down. If your belly is covering something that should protrude out, and you men know what I'm talking about. If you can't see certain items down there because your belly is covering it, whether you're peeing or whatever, then hey, it's time for you to cut it down. If you got jelly rolls all right here, all on your elbow, doing all this stuff, come on now. Come on now. Why does your body need so much extra fat on it? You are not a camel. You're not going through the desert. You eat every day, and too much of it. Tone it down. Tighten it up. Glorify the Almighty in your body, and let your moderation be known unto all men. Do not be a gluttonous person. Gluttony is a sin, and laziness is a sin. Don't do it. Let's keep going. So faith without works is dead being alone. Two types recap, 2 types of gluttonies. If you eat and you're full, your body says you're full, and you try to sneak those extra bites in, that's gluttony. Don't do that. And if you have an excess weight gain, then that means you're still eating too much. The scale is like your stomach telling you it's full. You're 10 pounds heavier than you were 4 weeks ago, and you're not even exercising, so it's not muscle. That's your body telling you you are eating too much. And you need to decrease what you're eating. You need to figure it out. And the first thing to cut is the useless calories. Sugars. Like a mango is sugar, but it has nutrients with it. It has vitamins and minerals with it. Take out the candy bar, put in a mango. Take out the soda and put in some yogurt. Take something out, and if you still got your sugar rush until it takes 2 weeks to die down, replace it with something that's, at least pineapples, you get some vitamins and minerals out of it. Pineapple is a good diuretic. People use pineapple juice and whatnot. Pineapples have some value to it. So if I take out the soda, or I take out the candy, and I put this, if you get the candy rush, I'm trying to help you guys out. Sometimes I get these small oranges, and I really want something sweet. I get a couple of small oranges. Or if I do get a candy rush, buy a sucker. Because a sucker just has 15 extra calories, but it gets your tongue and it gets rid of the sugar rush. But you're not eating a bowl of ice cream, 600 extra calories. If you go on a treadmill, do you know how long it's going to take you for you to run off 600 calories? Quite a bit. Especially if you're in an AC building. But, so if you just, man, I want something sweet, just get a sucker. Bam, eat a sucker real quick, just suck on a sucker, try a piece of chewing gum or something. Bam, the sugar, what's it called? Sugar rush? Craving, there you go. The sugar craving will subside, and then move on throughout your day. Make little steps to get healthier. Is there anything you want to say out loud? You don't got to come from the camera. Anything? Anything? Jocelyn? No? Anything you want to say about the service? So, with all that said being done, keep standing. Don't drop standards. Give the Almighty hand clap. Shalom. Go ahead. You guys want to come up to the front? Kamar, Jocelyn, get the space ready. Start off with getting the stuff off the ground. For the refreshments, get the stuff off the ground. We're about to move tables and stuff for refreshments. All right, cool.
Oh, he's sorry for me?
You go too. Shalom.